Hey everyone, this is Melissa from Mills Crafts and More. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this simple crochet candy cane. They are perfect as ornaments or decorations during Christmas holiday season. These are the basic supplies that you'll need for this project. First, yarn. You can crochet with just about any kind of yarn, but there are three most common yarn choices for beginners. We have wool, cotton, and acrylic yarn. In this video, I'll be using milk cotton. During my practice though, I use acrylic yarn. This is how it looks. I use this because it is widely available and one of the most affordable choices for yarn, but it's quite challenging for me because most of these acrylics split apart when doing a project. That's why I tried switching to cotton and I find it easier to use as a beginner. So now I just use this acrylic yarn for practice. So today I'll be using two colors, yellow and red. You can use any colors that you want. I just choose this because of the Christmas holiday feels. We also have scissors. Next is our pipe cleaners or fuzzy wires. This is one of the most versatile craft supplies because they are easy to bend and twist. It's a perfect core for our project since it also has soft fabric we call chenille, and it can be used to stuff our candy cane later on. Of course, we will also be needing our crochet hook. It is the main tool that we're going to use to form crochet stitches. They are identified by their US or metric names. For example, this 3.5 mm that I'll be using is also known as an E4 size hook in the US. I learned that choosing hook size to use really depends on the type of fabric that you want to create. If you want it to be flowy or rigid, thick or dense, and those recommendations that you see on the labels of your yarn is a good starting point. And lastly, a yarn needle. It also comes in different sizes, but I only have one size available, so we will just have to make this work. It is important to note though that I am also a beginner in crocheting, and most of the clips here are intended for beginners. Now you may also opt to skip if you're already familiar with them. To start, let's first learn how to hold your crochet hook and yarn. Remember that you can skip this video if you already found what works best for you. When it comes to holding your crochet hook and yarn, know that there isn't really a right way to do it. It's all just personal preference. You can hold your hook like you're holding a knife or like you're holding a pen. It's really up to you. On the other hand, there are countless variations or different ways on how you hold your yarn. And today we'll be showing some of the common ways how to do it, and you can adjust according to your preference or what suits you best. When crocheting, you will hold the yarn with your less dominant hand. In my case, it's my left. This hand will control the tension, and finding your tension takes a lot of patience and practice. It is important to find the tension that you're comfortable with because it will determine how loose or tight your product will be. First way, flatten your palm and make sure that your fingers are slightly spread out to easily feed the yarn in between. Wrap the yarn around your pinky finger, like so, and bring it across the top of your hand. Spread your fingers for less tension and close them for more tension. Keep pulling the yarn until you have at least 6 inches extending past the edge of your index finger. The second way is like the first one. The only difference is that you don't have to wrap the yarn around your pinky finger. So you just have to thread it between your pinky and ring finger, and then top of your hand and extend it at 6 inches. Then press the yarn between your thumb and index finger to control the tension. But if you find yourself as a tight gripper, you can also try the minimalist way. So it's just threading it between your middle finger and index finger, then pulling it a bit, then there you go. In my case, I'm still finding the best method that works for me and I'm most comfortable with. As I am still relatively new in crocheting, I'm still experimenting around to find the best technique for me. So this is how I currently hold my yarn. So I wrap it around my pinky and then thread it between my middle finger and forefinger, like so. Now that we have already an idea on how to hold our yarn, let's start now with the basic step. How to make a slip knot. Even though there are different ways to make a slip knot, they are all the same adjustable loop. This is how I tie my slip knot. Using your thumb and forefinger, form a beak. Then twist your right hand counterclockwise like so. Pull through a loop and tighten. So that's how you make a slip knot. Let's do it one more time. So form a beak, twist your right hand, pull through a loop and tighten. Another way is forming an X around your two fingers like so. Remove the yarn, pull the short end through to create a loop, then tighten. Okay, so let's do it again. So start with wrapping your yarn around your two fingers like so, forming an X. Remove the yarn, pull it through, and tighten. There you go. That's how you make a slip knot. Next is how to do chain stitches. Crochet usually begins with a series of chain stitches called the foundation chain. And we will begin by making a slip knot because it is normally the first step for most crochet projects. Insert the hook into the loop formed by your slip knot. Pull the loop fairly tight but loose enough to allow movement of the hook. Wrap the working yarn over the hook from back to front. This step is called yarn over. Now grab that yarn and pull it through the loop already on your hook. And that makes one chain stitch crochet. When counting your chain stitches, note that the starting slip knot is never counted as a stitch. Same with the loop on the hook. It is also not counted as a stitch. To make the next chain stitch, yarn over the hook again. Then pull it through the current loop. Keep repeating this movement until you have the required number of chain stitches. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. If you stop and look at the chain, you'll notice that it is like a series of interlocking V's. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chain stitches. For this project, we'll be making 70 chain stitches. And we're done with 70 chain stitches. Now we will add a row of single crochet stitch. To start a single crochet stitch, we will skip the last chain. We will insert our hook in the second chain through the center of the V. Then yarn over, then pull this yarn through the first loop. You should now have 2 loops on your crochet hook. Yarn over one more time, and this time pull the yarn through both loops. That completes a single crochet. Okay, so let's start again. Insert our hook in the next chain. Yarn over, pull through, then yarn over again, pull through now both loops, and then just repeat these steps in each remaining chain. Now we're done with our single crochet row 1. Before we start our row 2, we will redo the last single crochet. This is because we want to add our second color, which is yellow yarn. So this is how I add another color into my work. I just hold the yellow yarn like so and pull it through the 2 red loops. Then I pull the red ends to tighten my work. Next, how to single crochet row 2. To start, let's turn our work like so we can work back across the first row. When working rows of single crochet, you will chain 1 as a turning chain at the beginning of each row. Note that the number of turning chains will depend on the crochet stitch that you'll be doing. And for this project, we will be doing a single crochet stitch. This turning chain doesn't count as a stitch. So we will insert our hook into the next stitch under the 2 loops. Let us pause for a while so you can see it. And then yarn over and then pull it through. Now you have 2 loops on the hook. Again, yarn over. This time pull it through both loops. Just continue doing single crochet into each single crochet. And we're done with row 2. We now have this beautiful product of 2 rows of single crochet. And for our third row, we'll just have to repeat the steps. Don't forget, of course, to chain 1 as our turning chain. That's for our third row. And now for our last row, we will redo the last single crochet so we can add the red yarn. So let's chain 1 again as a turning chain and do the single crochet.
Christmas card and an old dusty tongue, and it brings back sweet memories here to me. So it's faded and worn. It's as
That's it, we're done with our rows.
when I found that little
Before you cut a yarn, make sure to leave at least 3 times the size of our project.
every line. Yes,
We will wrap this around our fuzzy wire like this
pardon me.
and secure it by stitching the edges.
My Christmas chest, it's the memory of an old Christmas card. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. From your Virgin Mother and Child, holy infant, so tender and mild, live in heavenly peace.
Let us then cut the extra fuzzy wire. Finish stitching and hide all the yarn ends inside the candy cane. And lastly, bend the fuzzy wire like a candy cane. That's how you make a candy cane crochet. So this is my very first project in crocheting.